The easiest, simplest, just one-shot video, and I've messed it up like 4 or 5 times now. What's up, fools? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming. On Instagram, I asked you guys, or I asked my following there, if they wanted to see, if you wanted to see what apps I use on mobile and how I use them, and you did. So this is that. I'm hitting start screen recording now. It says that it is recording, and we are going to jump right into it. We've got Ohrangutang Studio, Kamon, and Collageable. Collageable is not really editing, it's just making a collage or merging, photos, however, which we'll do eventually in this video, but we're going to jump right into Ohrangutang Studio. If you don't know who Orangutan is, if you don't know who Orangutan is, he is a really rad photographer out in Miami, Florida. Really cool, has a great look, like completely just different aesthetic than anyone, and I love his stuff. So when he came out with his app, I just had to get it. Let me make sure. Still screen recording, we're good. So you hop in the app, hit create. Now this is where we're gonna get at the end of it. This right here was made in Collageable. This right here was a light leak added in Kamon, and this right here is the edit that we did in Ohrangutang Studio. So let's get to it. Okay, so you hop in, this is the raw photo. Now I took these like yesterday on my phone, literally with a selfie camera, or the front camera, I guess it is, for my company, White Knuckle. It's my clothing brand. I guess that's a bit of a shameless plug there, but I'll link it down below and you can hop on and see. We got a drop coming this Friday, and we're dropping these masks that I'm editing the photos for in this video. So maybe you want to get one, maybe not. It also comes with the pin. Pretty cool, but let's get to it. So you hop in here, pick your photo, hit next. Pretty self-explanatory. Now we are going to jump into all of the tools. So you've got crop, pretty self-explanatory. You've got tools. Starting from left, you got the trace tools. Now I pretty much believe that that is like dodge and burn in Photoshop. I'm not sure, because on desktop and whatnot I only use Lightroom, but on Photoshop I believe it's basically like dodge and burn. So you've got skin, mimic, light, dark, and blur. Basically, like if I pick light and then I draw over whatever part of the photo I want, that specific part will light up or darken or whatever it is depending on the brush that you're using. So you've got that there. Then you've got your editing tools, which is the basic stuff: exposure, brightness, contrast, temperature, saturation, vibrance, all of that stuff. And then you've got your color tools, which you've got a curve. So you've got your RGB, where you can hop in and you can mess just with the reds, the greens, or the blues. Or you can just go to shadow, mid, and high tone, which will just adjust the higher tones in the photo, like the blown out whites, or the lower tones in the photo, like the blacks. And then from there, you've got flavors. Now flavors is the best part. Flavors is all of the presets in the app, so I know exactly what I want. When I come into Ohrangutang Studio, I know the exact look I'm going for, the exact presets I'm going to use, the exact effects I'm going to add, and it's quick. That's my workflow. A minute or less, I get a photo done and it's good to go. You follow along, and if you like it, cool, take it, use it. I'd be happy if you use it. That'd be great. I don't mind at all. And if not, find your own workflow. Literally go through here and look through all of the flavors and find out which ones you like, and then adjust their intensity and other options that you get to make them how you like them. That way when you hop in here, you know what you're coming for, you just apply it, you get it done, and it's great. Okay, so I know that I like OD6 is what it's called, OHD. And then 06 is the number. So that is this one. It adds that's what it does to it. It gives it that, I don't know, cool tone, dark, bit of grain vibe. And I really like it. It's literally my go-to in this app. It's the one I use every single time. If I don't use 6, then I use 5, which I basically is the same thing, just a bit warmer. Or maybe I'll merge, which is what we're gonna do right now. So I go to 6. I usually drop its intensity just a little bit, put it to 93 here, save that. Now, when I was editing this photo, I liked that look, it's my go-to look, but I wanted my skin and the warmer things in the photo to be warm. So I went back and I did exactly what I just recommended you guys do. I went back all the way to the beginning and I literally went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through every single one of these to see if any of them did what I wanted it to do by making my skin warmer. And I found one that did. I ended up going with this 13 right here. And if you put it down and put it up, it really doesn't make much of a difference other than making those you know, warmer tones warmer, and it doesn't really affect the vibe. It still keeps those shadows, that cool blue that I like from the other preset. So go in here, add this guy, drop it a little bit. This is the photo before, this is the photo where we're at currently. So now you hop into effects. Now in effects, it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got grain, dust, lights, which is light leaks, shift, which we'll get into, and chroma, which is like an RGB split or fringing, basically. There's gonna be lots of weird cuts in this video because I don't know when my phone is gonna stop recording, and I just don't want that to keep happening. So I'm actually checking as I'm doing this video with you guys, making sure that the screen is still recording, and then stopping it, making sure it saves, and then continuing from where I left off. That way I just don't lose everything again like I already have 5 times. Okay, so now we are in effects. Now, I know that I always add grain, and I always add 2 grains. When you hop in here, you get 3 options. I always go to the farthest right, and right now it's basically at 50%, but if you drop this slider all the way left, now it's nothing, all the way up, it's a lot. So I go in and add it however much accordingly, but I know that I'm gonna add another layer of grain over this layer, so I don't make this one too intense. I just add it just enough to how I like. 23 works, and then I go back into grain, and now I choose either the middle or the left one, just depending on the photo or what I want. Usually I go with the left one because I typically edit with a lot of contrast and moodiness to it, I guess it is. So I usually go with the left one, which brightens it up. As you can see, it's a lighter grain, not in the terms of how much grain is actually applied, but it's like it lifts shadows essentially more and doesn't make it as contrasty, whereas this middle one is a very contrasty grain, depending on how high you put it. But I typically go with the left one, and then I would just bring it up again, just ever so slightly to how I like, and probably go with like 13 here, save that, and now for me, this photo is done. I've got it exactly how I like, but for the sake of content in this video and showing you guys the app, we're gonna jump into the other things and just look at them. So you hop into dust. Let's make sure the phone is still recording. It is. You hop into dust, pretty self-explanatory. You get dust. What is cool is you can adjust the intensity in this app to light leaks and to dust and things like that, and grain and everything, which is really cool. And in Kamon, which we're gonna hop into next, you can't do that. However, you do get much more variety, so you get things that aren't as aggressive just naturally, but you just gotta find out which ones you like in which app and use them accordingly. So you hop into dust. Now I personally, I love seeing dust on other people's stuff. I think it looks great, it adds a really cool vibe, but I just feel like every time I do it, it just doesn't work. It's like when you see somebody wearing something and they look really good in it, and you're like, gosh, they look really cool, but I can never pull that off. I feel like that's me with dust, and I feel like that's even me with light leaks. I just feel like, even if I think they look cool, I think they're too much. So I usually don't use them, but that's the dust. And then if you go into lights, this is really cool. You get all these light leaks. You can change the intensity. Now I do really enjoy these light leaks in here, and I use them, but lately I've been using the ones in Kamon just because I don't have to adjust them, and I know exactly, the select few that I like, and if I use them, even if I am using them, it's very rare. I don't use them all the time. So either way, you hop in here, you can adjust all the different intensities and do things. However, you can also move them around, but only certain ones look good moved around, right? So like this one, for instance, if you move it, you've got that hard line. And it's the same with like ones like this. You've got the hard line of the light leak itself, and it just doesn't look good. However, that could be a vibe, right? Like you could just like put this like that, add some shapes to it, just be different, like why not? But that's just not what I'm going for in this photo. But there are ones that do move around very well, like this one, for instance. You can move around and it looks good anywhere. You can change the size of it, you can rotate it, you can move it wherever. Same with this one. Let's see, let's make it smaller, maybe put it in my eye for absolutely no reason. Oh, didn't want that. Boom, put it in the eye. Now I'm a cyborg. I don't know, just mess around with it and see, but those are the lights. Now, if you go into shift, I never use this, but this is what it does. Blur basically like pops everything out, kind of adds like motion to the photo, if you will. But when you put the blur all the way up or up at all, it basically puts everything out of focus. If you come down to fall off, you can kind of pinpoint where you want that focus. So if I put the fall off all the way up, you can see my face comes back down to not being distorted, and my eyes are actually in focus again, and then everything around me is kind of moving or punching out and looks like there's motion. Now, it is a really cool look, and I don't mind it, but it's just not what I want for this. But that's what that does, and it's kind of a cool effect. And then you've got chroma, which is an RGB split or fringing, and that too kind of just splits, I guess, you know. So you go in here, find out which one you want, or if you want one at all. You can move the angle, so you know how you want the split to be splitting essentially. But just hop in there and mess around with it, see what you want. Now we're done with the photo. We finished the photo a while ago, but like I said, for sake of the video, we had to go through all of that. So you hit next. Now you've got a few more options here. You get date, which is over here in the bottom left, bottom right, top left. You can put it wherever you want. I do like the date option in this because it is really subtle. You don't get to freely move it anywhere, but it is really subtle and it's not aggressive. However, you can't change the color of it, which in Canon, you can change the color of it, and you can get a white one, a pink one, or a red one, or an orange one, but you can't change the size of it and you can't change the placement of it. So again, you just gotta see which one you prefer. So just hop in there and mess with it, but that's date. Then you hop into frame, which is really cool actually. I never use it, but I found out in this video and multiple of the other videos I just recorded that didn't actually end up recording, that they've added things to this. So if I was gonna use this, I would use it in an Instagram story. I wouldn't use it for an Instagram post, but if you go through stories and you're going, but something like this will really catch your eye and is just set apart from most stories on Instagram. So it's pretty cool, but you can edit text. So instead of December 08, we can just put gang gang, and that's down there, super subtle in the bottom left. And yeah, you can just choose what frames you want, how you want them. I personally don't want one for this photo, and I usually don't use them anyways, but that is an option. And then you've got text cover. So you can put this top, middle, or bottom, and it's cool. It fades out the photo and it makes the text, pop up. You can change where it says like orangutan. So I'll just put J Gonzalez, or I'll put my Instagram for you guys, Shadow Bandman. Right, so now it says just another film by Shadow Bandman. You can't change the just another film by, so it is a vibe, but it doesn't really make sense. If I were to use this, which I really only used it once, but if I were to use this feature, I would do this, just another film by, whatever you want, and then I would have a series of photos, maybe 5 or 6, or yeah, I'd say 5 or 6 would be good. And for the first photo on my Instagram, I would have this one, and I would just have, the swipe through sliders. And the first one would be this, just another film by Shadow Bandman, and then I'd have like 6 more photos from the same day, from the same shoot, that kind of tell a story, and then it kind of ties the theme of just another film, and it actually makes sense. But typically, I don't ever use that. It is a cool effect though, and it's something to play with, so check it out, see if you like it. Then you just hit next, and you hit save. And that's that. It just happened again. It stopped recording in the middle of the thing, so I'm starting over. We are gonna jump into Kamon now. It is oriented this way, so turn your phone, open up your photos, go to recents, and grab the photo that we just edited in Orangutan. Now, let me slide down. It says my screen is still recording, so this is good. So, I'm not gonna go in order here, but we will start here. So as soon as you jump into the app, they have all their presets and they immediately apply one. Now the first photo option that you have here in this little side grid is your photo without a preset on it and as you dropped it in. I'm just gonna go with that because I know what I wanted, and in Orangutan I already knocked out the edit and how I want it. I don't need a preset. I'm only in here for light leaks, but I'm gonna show you guys everything else, but I'm not going to go in order. We're actually going to jump down now to the date at the bottom because I don't want to add a date either, but these are the options that they offer. You've got the orange, you've got the red, you've got the pink, and you've got the white. Pretty cool. You don't get to move them, but I do like the looks of them. It's just I don't want one for this photo, so I'm going to turn that off. And then if you go up one more, it's dust. Like I said, I don't use dust and I don't want dust in this photo, but they do have a lot of options, and I would just say, explore it and see what you like. But now we're gonna go up to light leak. So this is obviously the photo with no light leak on it. This is the first one that they offer. Now me personally, with this photo, I know I want a warmer light leak just because I think it fits the vibe better for what I want. This purplish blue one like still looks cool. The colors still look good and they go with the shadows and whatnot, but I just want a warmer one. I think it just looks better. It's the vibe that I want for this shot. I also know that I like to go with light leaks that are not so overpowering and just noticeable. You know, I don't want something like this one. Like, not that it doesn't look cool, because it does, but again, if I was going to use this light leak on a photo like this, I would put it on an Instagram story just to grab your attention and make you stop what you're doing and see it, you know. But for posting it, I wouldn't want to do it because it's taking away from my photo. It's making you focus on the light leak specifically, and it takes away from my edit and the overall vibe that the photo gives. So I'm going to scroll down because I know that the light leaks that I like are a little lower. So I'm gonna scroll down here, and these ones are cool. Like, this is pretty subtle. We gotta go a little bit further here. Like, this one is pretty good, actually. I like that one a lot. I haven't seen that one in the last however many times I've recorded this video for you guys. This one is pretty cool. I always love the crescents, but if I was gonna use a crescent, I would just use like that crescent, I don't know, crescent rainbow. I would just use the one in orangutan because you can change the intensity and you can move it wherever you want. This does look good here, but just having that option is cool, and you get to mess around and maybe it looks better elsewhere. So if I was gonna use that crescent, I would jump back into orangutan and use it there. Now we've got these. This one is pretty cool too, but the one that I ended up going with in this video is this one, just because I do want to be a little bit more aggressive all of a sudden now with you guys on here. So we're gonna add that one. Screen is still recording, so you save that and you are good to go. Hop out of here, and now the last app, if I choose to use it, is Collageable. So we'll hop in here, go to Collage, and actually let's go with 3 photos. So we'll go with 3. Now I always go into frame adjust and I just bring these down because I don't want any type of borders around my photo at all. So I bring those down, I save that, I get an ad because I haven't paid for this app. So then you just click on any of the squares and it opens up your photos, you hit recents, and then you get to choose. So we will go with this one, and then this one, and then this one again, and we will hit that, and boom, it puts them just like that. You hit this bottom right guy, and you hit save image, and you're done. It saves the image, and now we have the photos from start to finish right there. So that's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty simple. This video was not, because everything went wrong that possibly could have went wrong, but we didn't let it stop us. But that is pretty much it. If you go into here, this is where we started. This was the first edit in Orangutan. This was adding the light leak in Kamon, and then this was adding them together in Collageable. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's my workflow. That's the look that I go for. Let me stop my screen recording here. Hopefully that actually worked this time. If not, you'll see me here in a second and I'll tell you that it didn't. But thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And maybe in the next one, I'll have you guys send me some photos via Instagram or something, and I'll edit them live or on here, I guess, for you guys, and go through your stuff and show you, you know, kind of my edit on it and show you what I'm gonna do with it. Or maybe I'll give you guys some of my photos and you can edit them for me, and then we'll do some type of giveaway or something. Give you something from White Knuckle, or I don't know, something fun. We gotta get more interaction on this channel, and I gotta get some subscribers. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Do all of the things that YouTubers ask you to do. I think it's like, it's subscribe, it's turn on the bell, but then if you turn on the bell, I think you have to go into your settings on your iPhone and allow notifications for YouTube to add the bell and all kind of dumb stuff. But just do the things that YouTubers ask you to do, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh, I should probably turn the screen recording off. No way. Why do they keep stopping? Oh.